Hey guys, it's Hattie here with MyNokiaBlog, and this is our review of the Nokia Lumia 1320. The Lumia 1320 is an option available for Nokia for people who want a large size device with medium specs without having the insane specs of the Lumia 1520 and others, and without having the very high price tag as well. So the Lumia 1320 is set to compete against devices such as the Galaxy Grand or Galaxy Mega, which come in big sizes but affordable on the pocket. So in terms of the actual screen, which is what a lot of people will be looking for when looking at this device, it's a 6-inch IPS LCD display with a 720p HD screen, which gives it a PPI of 245. Now for me, I thought that the PPI might be a bit low and we might end up with some pixelization or just in general a very poor viewing experience, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that the screen was actually pretty amazing. I didn't have any issues at all with seeing the pixels, even though coming from my 1080p Lumia 1520, I was expecting to be very disappointed, but thankfully the screen looked very nice and you couldn't even tell that it was a sub 300 PPI. The lines on the screen are sharp and well detailed, and you can sometimes see the pixels if you look close enough, but holding it at viewing range, you shouldn't have any problem with the screen's resolution. In fact, the screen also has Nokia's clear black display, which gives you true black colors. And it also has super sensitive touch, which allows you to use the screen with your fingernail or with keys or with gloves on or whatever you want. So in case you were worried that the screen would be a deal breaker and that the PPI or less than 1080p display on such a large screen would be an issue, it most probably isn't, so you have nothing to worry about. In terms of the actual design of the device, the Lumia 1320 comes in 4 colors: white, black, yellow, or a slightly orange red. Now, I personally am not a big fan of the design, or at least not the color, as I feel that the design doesn't have that much going for it. When I pick up the Lumia 1520, I feel that this is truly a work of beauty and I really don't want to put it down. It has characteristic and it feels special and different. The Lumia 1320, on the other hand, although has done everything right, it has softer corners, which is something I was complaining about in the 1520, having 2 sharp corners, and it feels nice in the hand, and it's the same size as the 1520. It just feels a bit bland and dull. It might be the color. I was hoping to get a yellow one or a red one to spice things up, but I personally am not a fan of it. It's a nice design, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing special about it either. And I think the white color itself comes off as a bit of a dirty, cheap white, which gives off an overall cheap impression of the phone. So if I were to get the phone, I'd probably get it in black or the orange red. The Lumia 1320 also has a front-facing camera and a rear-facing camera. The front-facing camera is only capable of capturing videos at VGA or 480p, and for me I thought that was going to be a turn-off or just, a bad thing. But turns out it was a pretty smart move by Nokia, because the 480p camera in this is actually quite decent. It gives better quality than some of the 720p front-facing cameras that I've seen, and once you're actually using it, you feel that the videos might be less than optimal quality, but they are acceptable, especially for a phone in this price bracket. As for the main camera on the Lumia 1320, it's a 5 megapixel camera. It doesn't have any of the fancy technology found in the 1020, 1520, or 920. Definitely doesn't have OIS or an insane number of pixels, or even just the PureView brand name, and unfortunately it was slightly disappointing. The pictures with the 1320, although they get the job done, aren't exactly the best, and it was disappointing seeing such a thing come from Nokia. For example, you can see in this video the grainy quality of the pictures in just general, and they all seem to have this sort of grayish overcast, which just makes pictures feel so dull and depressing. The front-facing camera pictures, on the other hand, are quite decent for a front-facing camera. Sure, they don't compete with the likes of HTC One, which has one of the best front-facing cameras I've ever seen, but for the casual selfie, they will get the job done. In terms of video and audio capture, you guys can check out the videos I posted for both the front-facing and rear-facing camera, but to put it short, the sound capture is pretty impressive on the 1320 from both cameras, and the video quality, as mentioned, is pretty impressive from the front-facing camera, even for 480p. And the 5 megapixel camera on the back can capture in 1080p at 30 frames per second, and it is quite impressive as well. Although it doesn't have OIS, which means you might have some shaking in your videos, they definitely are worth taking videos with because it is truly nice. In terms of the processor on the Lumia 1320, it comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 dual-core processor at 1.7 GHz, which is more than enough for something that people would classify as a budget device. Although in terms of specs, it really isn't a budget device besides the less than optimal screen resolution. In fact, it has the same specs almost as the Lumia 920, which was the flagship device for Nokia last year. So don't worry about having poor performance. It performs perfectly well for gaming and for just general multitasking and working around the OS. You can check out those videos as well. The Lumia 1320 also comes with expandable storage via micro SD card, which is something you're going to need as the onboard 8 GB of storage get filled up very quickly. And unfortunately, this can be an issue since currently in Windows Phone 8 you can't install apps or games onto the SD card, which means that you're going to be severely limited for space. And that is going to be an issue until Windows Phone 8.1 comes out and solves that, since the 8 GB hardly cuts it on a device that's, let's be honest, is meant for media consumption and gaming. The Lumia 1320 also has a behemoth 3400 mAh battery, which is the same you'll find in the Lumia 1520. The only difference is that the Lumia 1320 has a lot less pixels on the back and on the front to take up the processing time, which means that you're going to get some insane battery life out of this thing. Sure, I was using it on standby, but I was blown away by I used it occasionally for a couple days and then put it back on standby, and this is what I had. 15 days and 16 hours between having Wi-Fi, GPS on, with cellular on for 2 days of those, and just general, usage, camera, gaming, doing videos with it, and the battery is just amazing. 3400 milliamps on this thing could easily get you through 2 days of normal usage or 3 days without any trouble at all. And I think that's probably one of the benefits of having a lower resolution screen and a lower resolution camera, is that there's a lot less processing and pixel pushing going on, which allows for battery optimization and a better battery performance in general. So all in all, I'd have to say the Lumia 1320 is a great budget device, or I don't even want to call it budget because it's truly not budget. It's a great other large screen device for people who are on a budget and want a nice first-class device performance. Lumia 1320 has an excellent screen. Forget the PPI. If you look at it, you'll see what I mean. It has great performance and it has excellent battery life. Sure, the design might not be as flashy or as attractive as the Lumia 1520 or the 925, but I mean, it's a trade-off. If you're certainly looking at a large screen device and don't have the $500 or $600 to put down on the 1520, the 1320 is a great option, and I would really recommend getting it. So that's pretty much it for the video review of the Lumia 1320. If you have any comments or if you've had the 1320, let me know what you guys think about the device in the comment section below. For now, don't forget to subscribe to see more videos, and please like the video and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.